No one heard the soft thud as 80-year-old Arthur collapsed onto his kitchen floor. In the silent, dusty house, where photos of a family who never visited lined the walls, he was utterly alone. The world outside continued, oblivious. His phone was on the counter, miles away to his fading consciousness. But he wasn't completely alone. A small, ginger cat named Marmalade, who usually spent his days sleeping in sunbeams, sat bolt upright. He didn't meow or hiss. He simply stared at Arthur's still form, a strange understanding flickering in his green eyes. For an hour, Arthur lay motionless. The silence in the house was heavy, filled with unspoken despair and the ticking of a grandfather clock. Arthur's breathing grew shallow, his life slipping away with each tick. The cat had never been outside in his life. The noise of the world terrified him. He was a creature of comfort, of quiet laps and soft blankets. But as the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the floor, Marmalade did something he had never done before. He seemed to make a decision. With a determination that defied his timid nature, Marmalade bolted towards the front door's cat flap, a passage he had always feared. He squeezed through it, his heart pounding against his ribs as he emerged into the loud, bewildering world. He ignored the barking dog next door and the roaring cars. His eyes were fixed on the house across the street where a light had just turned on. He sprinted across the cold pavement, a small streak of orange courage. He reached the neighbor's door and began to meow, a desperate, gut-wrenching cry he had never uttered before. He pawed and scratched at the wood, refusing to stop. The neighbor, a young woman named Sarah, opened the door, annoyed at the racket. She saw the frantic cat and tried to shoo him away, but Marmalade wouldn't budge. He cried louder, then ran a few feet back towards his own house, looking back at her. He repeated this, a clear, desperate plea. A shiver ran down Sarah's spine. This wasn't normal. She followed the cat across the street. When she peered through Arthur's living room window, she saw his feet on the kitchen floor. She immediately called 911. When the paramedics arrived, they said Arthur had suffered a massive stroke. A few more minutes, and it would have been too late. As he was carried out on a stretcher, conscious but weak, he looked for his small friend. Sarah was holding Marmalade, who was now calm, purring as if his job was done. Arthur shed a tear, a silent thank you to the tiny hero who had faced his greatest fears to save him. Sometimes the greatest courage comes in the smallest bodies, and the quietest love roars the loudest when it matters most.